And Team Philippines slips back to third place in the overall medal tally of the 31st SEA Games. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. While Ferdinand Marcos Jr. continues to enjoy a comfortable lead in the official tally of the May polls, the petition to cancel his candidacy has reached the Supreme Court. Marlene Alcaide with the details.
The fight against the candidacy of presumptive President-elect Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has now reached the country's highest court. After being rejected at the Commission on Elections, petitioners led by counsel Theodore Te went to the Supreme Court to ask it to cancel and declare void Marcos Jr.'s certificate of candidacy for president.
Ang posisyon namin ay hindi totoo yung dalawang statement dahil convicted siya, malinaw na fact yun, hindi na pwedeng i-deny yun. At dahil sa conviction niya sa ilalim ng RTC at in-affirm ng Court of Appeals, automatic yung perpetual disqualification. At nung sinabi niya na hindi siya perpetually disqualified, hindi totoo yun.
Petitioners also want the SC to issue a temporary restraining order to enjoin both chambers of Congress from canvassing the votes pending the petition's resolution. While Marcos Jr. presumed majority win might be historical, for petitioners, elections is not just a numbers game. They question his eligibility to run given that he was not truthful in his COC.
Kapag yung isang kandidato ay hindi eligible, kahit na makuha pa niya ang pinakamataas na boto, hindi pa rin siya dapat tumakbo kasi ang epekto ng cancellation ng COC ay hindi siya naging kandidato ever.
Marcos Jr.'s camp, however, said that all of these cases have already been resolved and dismissed at the Comelec. Attorney Vic Rodriguez added that the people have spoken based on the election result. He appealed to those behind the petition to respect the will of the people and just help the next administration.
I appeal to you, instead of pushing for your agenda of animosity, tulungan niyo lang na muna kami na pagtuunan at gamitin natin ang ating limitadong oras araw-araw.
Petitioners are leaving this up to the Supreme Court, hoping that the High Court will act on their petition immediately. For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
After speaking with some prospective cabinet members, Presumptive President Bongbong Marcos flies to Melbourne for a quick family getaway. Marlene Alcaide returns with the story.
As the election fever fades away, Presumptive President Bongbong Marcos flew to Australia along with his family for a quick 3-day vacation. This was confirmed by his current spokesperson, Attorney Vic Rodriguez, in a press conference Tuesday.
It's more of a private trip, a private visit for a much-needed rest and vacation. Pinipilit na lang niyang i-enjoy momentarily yung kanyang pagiging citizen bongbong.
Rodriguez said that Marcos Jr. has spoken to Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, who reportedly extended his congratulations to the leading candidate and lauded the integrity of the election results. Before heading out of the country, Marcos Jr. likewise talked to two of his prospective cabinet members. Former Labor Secretary Benny Laguesma, as well as Labor leader Susan Toots Ople. Laguesma is eyed to lead DOLE once again, while Ople is being courted to head the newly established Department of Migrant Workers or DMW.
Humihingi lang sila ng kaunting panahon nang makonsulta at makausap yung kanilang mga mahal sa buhay, siguro ilang kaibigan at yung mga taong kanilang pinaniniwalaan at pinakikinggan at hihingi ng payo.
Rodriguez neither confirmed nor denied rumors regarding Cavite Representative Boying Remulla supposedly being considered as the next Secretary of Justice. Recall that the older Remulla once led House inquiries regarding issues on ABS-CBN.
Para hindi tayo siguro maligaw, walang listahan. Ulitin ko, walang listahan. And the names that I will be announcing, I think are those names na talagang nakausap.
In an earlier interview with 1PH, Rodriguez said there are initial talks with Professor Clarita Carlos to head the Foreign Affairs Department. The professor said she'll accept the offer if it will indeed be extended to her. For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
Presumptive Vice President Sara Duterte is pushing for an early inauguration that will be held in Davao City. While the Comelec sees no problem with this, an expert says this could be a violation of the Constitution. Marian Enriquez with a story.
Presumptive Vice President-elect Sara Duterte wants her inauguration done on June 19. Traditionally, the incoming president and vice president take their oath on June 30. Duterte says she wants to attend the inauguration of her running mate and incoming President Bongbong Marcos. In 1PH's One Balita Pilipinas, Duterte spokesperson Liloan Mayor Cristina Frasco said the outgoing mayor insisted on doing it in Davao.
To quote her, it is the Davaoeños' patience that made me the public servant I am today, and therefore it is only right to honor them the opportunity to witness the oath-taking.
But can Duterte actually hold an oath-taking ceremony before the standard June 30 date? Center Law Deputy Executive Director Gilbert Andres says this plan may be a violation of the 1987 Constitution. Under Article 7, Section 4, the President and Vice President shall begin their terms at noon of the 30th day of June and shall end on the same time and date 6 years later.
So if it says June 30, it cannot be done June 29, it cannot be done June 19, it cannot be done on July 1, it should be June 30. Why? There's a reason for this. Because there can only be one president.
With this, Andres warns of a possible constitutional crisis.
If someone takes an oath of office for president or vice president in violation of the Constitution, then that person can be challenged through the remedy of quo warranto.
But for Comelec Commissioner George Garcia, an early inauguration isn't a problem.
Two former presidents before took their oath at 11:45, not exactly at 12 o'clock. So meaning to say, pwede naman palang mas maaga. Basta ang usapan lang, mag-a-assume at exactly 12:01 because that is what is provided for by the Constitution.
Garcia said that as long as the candidates have been proclaimed, oath-taking is merely as a formality. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
The Comelec is set to proclaim the 12 winning senatorial candidates later today. Winning senatorials include Robin Padilla, Lauren Legarda, Rafi Tulfo, Win Gatchalian, Cheese Escudero, and Mark Villar. Also forming the Magic 12 are Alan Peter Cayetano, Mick Zubiri, Joel Villanueva, JV Ejercito, Risa Ontiveros, and Jingoy Estrada. The poll body is scheduled to proclaim the winning senators later at 4 p.m. And the Comelec has resolved to proceed with the proclamation despite a pending special election in Lanao del Sur. Team Pilipinas bagged medals in billiards, athletics, Muay, and Taekwondo on a relatively slow haul day yesterday. Rubilin Amit won the day's first gold for the country after racing to an early lead against Singapore in the women's 9-ball singles. Efren Bata Reyes later opened the SEA Games bid with a gold medal himself, going up against Thailand in the men's one-cushion carom. The rest of our local Q artists likewise reigned supreme, assuring the delegation of at least a bronze in 3 different categories and forcing an all-Filipino clash in the 9-ball pool event. Also winning gold medals are Muay Thai pair Erika Bomogao and Rich Yosores, ruling the women's Waiku Muay contest. Elsewhere, Kurt Barbosa bagged the Philippines' second gold in Taekwondo, while athletic star Eric Cray chipped in one of his own for the men's 400-meter event. But despite all these wins, Team Philippines slipped to 3rd in the overall rankings as Thailand overtook our haul to claim 2nd place. Team Pilipinas will have at least 2 more shots for equipment today in golf and billiards. Check out the full game schedule at SeaGames2021.com. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again later at 9 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also watch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.